In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about our new band name, Dripping Viscera, and our first album, Chainsaw Exploits. Possessed stuffies, shitting your pants in terror, and toothbrush etiquette for hotels. In our discussion of Something is Killing the Children, Volume 1, by James Tynion IV and Werther Dell'Edera.
I love it when the thing, it's got fuck on it.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult and sometimes other books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire. And today we're going to discuss Something is Killing the Children, Volume 1 by James Tynion IV and Werther Dell'Edera.
Standard disclaimer. If you haven't read this book, Claire is very upset with you. Please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read the book. At least the first one, and then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much and you respect Claire so much that you don't care about anything, then listen up. I don't know. I don't know why I included you so much in that standard disclaimer.
Because I'm obsessed. To be fair, it's this month's theme is a recommendation month.
Yes, if you like this, try this.
And I've recommended Something is Killing the Children to many, many people. And on this podcast,
if we're skipping ahead to initial thoughts, yeah, it's 3 times. I went back and learned that 3 times.
Cool.
3 times. And cool. If you liked this, try this.
So, and I am slightly
So it's about
obsessed.
fucking time.
So it's about fucking time. Also. Friend of the show, Jackson Robb, I told him he had to read them, and I assume he has read them. He did send me a picture, like, with the issues, going, and I'm like, oh, enjoy. Don't know if he likes them or not.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
Because he has taste.
I'm sure he does.
But yeah, I kind of like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
yeah.
It's just one of my favourite comic book series.
Of all time. Ever.
Yeah. We'll never cover the other one because it's too much. And it's too much. Which is Fables. It's too much. But this one, we could at least cover the first volume and get people obsessed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could continue it. There are some times where we'll do the first one only. And there are some times we'll just randomly do the rest of the series over, several years.
Well, I mean, I do have the other 8 volumes. And I do have the House of Slaughters as well.
I have the first one.
We'll see how it goes.
I have the first one borrowed from the library. Does that count?
I'm proud that you borrowed it from a library. It's also available on Hoopla, I think.
I feel like, even though he's not the same, I feel like you should be able to see this little guy with his teeth in the background for this one.
I mean, to be fair, when we get into the discussion, you're gonna need him. So yeah, okay.
Now I've just
let's get some.
I'm getting trapped.
Let's get some background.
I'm getting trapped in my wheels. So I found some background info. It was an interview with Multiversity Comics back in September of 2019, and they question the fact that the main character, that first boy that you see is James, who is also the name of the author, and he looks exactly like him, and he's wearing a Batman t-shirt, and he lives in Wisconsin, and all of these things. So they're asking why did you self-insert yourself into this comic? And
I mean, why not?
Why not, really, exactly. But there's a really long response to this question, and if you want to read it, you can go and check it out, multiversitycomics.com. But he goes on and on and on about how, well, I just did it at first as a placeholder. And then, like, this is all filler stuff. And then he got like to issue 2 and was like, yeah, no, I'm definitely going to change all the names of the characters for sure. And then he went too far. So after all this really long, like multiple paragraphs of explanation of why he did it, even saying like, I don't want people to read too far into it. But he does say that James is the same sort of character that he was, and he has deep fear and anxiety and all of these things. But then he says it was just a shortcut for emotional honesty that then became the main road. I'm honestly very excited to see where it all leads because it was not part of my original intent for the book. So it was an accident.
A happy accident.
Yes.
We like those things.
Yes. So we've already done initial thoughts, really, because, I mean, I will again, as Marcus from Breaking Dawn Part 2, say, finally. Because you've been wanting to cover this one for forever.
Yeah, but I will point out, okay, so it is a graphic novel, obviously. We've kind of, like, not directly said it, but it is a graphic novel. And the Fictional Hangover brand is very much the most adorable graphic novels humanly possible. Murder, death, kill in our fiction. Yes. You know, we like horror in words, not necessarily pictures.
We don't not like them in pictures.
But we don't.
We just really like cute things.
Exactly. And sometimes you need to, you know, cleanse the palette with something cute and adorable. But this theme, the theme of this month, I just couldn't not.
Right.
I could not. And we've covered a lot of our favourite books already and series already. It was time. It was time.
It was really time. It was really, really time. Okay.
It's time for a summary.
It's time for the summary. That's what I was going to ask. Is it time? Is it time for the summary? Some kids are having a sleepover. So, of course, they're playing Truth or Dare. A nervous-looking boy opts for the truth.
Boring.
And the tough kid asks him, what's the most scared you've ever been? You know, and I thought about this myself, and I couldn't really think of a response. Oh, no, but I did have... we can talk about it later. We don't need to talk about it now. I know, think about it. Think about it. What's the most scared you've ever been? Everyone tell us the answer to that question, too, by the way.
Yeah. Anyway, what? Like, you know, that is the best you can come up with. Like, seriously. One boy had to run around the house naked.
You know what? Teenage boy, though, yeah. I don't feel like that's much of a dare.
No. The boys like to be naked. The nervous kid admits something happened the other night. And no, it's not the E.T. or Cyclops dream. Though I would like to know more. This actually happened.
The nervous kid was home alone when he heard a noise coming from the ravine and through the trees. He turned all the lights off in the TV room to see better. This room that they're in right now. He saw something stand in the yard. It looked like it was heading to the house. It had long fingers and sharp teeth. The nervous kid confesses he hid under a blanket and just listened to it moving around outside for hours. Nah.
Nah, dog. Fuck you.
Nah,
dog.
Nah.
The other boys call bullshit. So do we. This is supposed to be a real tale, not like a scary story to freak them out. The nervous kid protests, telling them it lives in the ravine. Still don't believe him. Okay. Truth or dare?
In a sterile white room, the nervous kid looks like he's shitting his pants, talking to a policeman. He's telling the policeman that his scary story was just that, a story, one of his nightmares. They'd snuck to the ravine before, no big deal, except this time he tripped over a root and fell to where the others couldn't see him. But he could hear them screaming. Nah. No, thank you.
2 weeks later, a one-armed, one-eyed girl is sitting in a red wagon with a backpack by her side. She looks scared. Could be because of the wide-eyed blonde with a black mask, with a fanged, toothy smile covering her face, blood covering her entire body, and 2 wicked-looking machetes in each hand. This is Erica Slaughter, and she kills monsters. Erica comes towards her, drops the blades, reaches into the backpack, and pulls out a bottle of water, sagging to the ground as she chugs it. The little girl asks if it's over. Erica says that it is, and using an old flip phone, calls St. George. She writes Archer's Peak on her arm, asks the little girl if she can grab a shower at her place, and tells St. George she'll be there in 16 hours, depending on bus schedules.
At Archer's Peak High School, the nervous kid is looking at memorials set up for his sleepover friends. There are more memorials for other kids, though, because something is killing the children. Title! A bully starts shouting at him, accusing him of killing them, chopping them up, spreading their organs out, and putting one of the intestines in a tree. His friend tells him to chill. He says he is, but really? He really isn't. And his friend drags him away as he's screaming at the nervous kid, calling him a perv. Nervous kid shouts at him to shut the fuck up, and we all agree.
Yes. Snap to the principal's office. We find out that nervous kid's name is James, and Principal Collins has no idea what to do with him. Unofficially, the principal tells James to punch the bully because he deserves it. I had teachers like this at school as well, who may or may not have facilitated the odd door bashing into bullies, but, not really.
Mm-mm.
No, they would never do that. Never, ever. The principal doesn't want to add to James's stress, punishing him, and it seems like he doesn't want to stress himself out more either. There are 9 kids dead and more going missing every day. The press keep turning up and the sheriff is out of his depth. The principal offers to let James go home for the rest of the day, but he's going to stick around. They're watching movies in English. I mean, I would just watch movies home, but
Yeah, and you could choose what you watch at home?
Yeah, exactly.
Because what would it be in English class? Romeo and Juliet?
Shakespeare in Love. Lord of the Flies.
Shakespeare in Love. Oh.
Yeah. So it's always something crap.
Yeah. A Greyhound bus pulls into Archer's Peak, and the now clean blonde is on it, holding a knitted octopus stuffy. The missing persons posters fill the notice board at the bus stop. Meanwhile, James is heading to the motel his family is staying at with strict instructions literally just issued in a phone call with his dad to go to the room and lock the door. Of course, he doesn't, and stands looking at the woods, which is where Erica finds him, and knows him by name. She wants to ask a few questions about that night.
James tells Erica he saw nothing, but Erica is patient and sits on the ground waiting for James to open up, promising him that no matter what he tells her, however weird it seems, she will believe him.
After the screaming started, James found his friends. He followed the blood. Nah, dog.
What?
One was still alive, terrified, his lower half gone, organs trailing out from his open torso. As his friend is begging for help, something invisible lands a killing blow. James turns and runs, only to see another dead friend with his arms ripped off. The sounds of crunching and snapping echo through the trees. James keeps retching and chanting that it can't be real when he sees another boy, blood everywhere, looking right at him as a monster with dozens of eyes, a mouth full of sharp fangs, an insectoid body, and blade-like claws rip his friend apart.
Yikes. Erica thanks James for telling her Archer's Peak has a monster in their woods, and she's going to kill it. Tommy wakes up late for work. His mom is downstairs, chain smoking, having not slept again. She has a stack of missing persons posters for him to put on cars at his job for his little sister. As Tommy gets into his car, he doesn't see the huge bloody monster on the front lawn.
Oh, such a good panel, though. Such a good panel.
Dripping Viscera. Dripping Viscera is a good
Dripping Viscera is my new band name.
Yeah.
Erica and James head to Applebee's for information. I really appreciate the names of these fake places. This just so happens to be the restaurant Tommy is manager of. Bamboozling Tommy, Erica secures a booth for $50 a day, plus ordering stuff and tips. Erica and James settle in the booth. Erica starts pulling items out of her bag, including her octopus stuffy, don't ask, and a stack of information on the dead and missing kids. James asks why Applebee's, and Erica explains they're quiet places that literally no one goes to, with big tables, as she pulls out a map of Archer's Peak marked with X's.
As Erica studies the map, James asks if she's done this type of thing before, and we see flashback panels of Erica kicking the asses of different monsters. Blood, dead bodies, and children screaming as she does. Yeah, she's done it once or twice before. As Erica and James pore over the map, Tommy and the waitress are gossiping. The waitress says that James is a suspect because he was the sole survivor of his friend's violent deaths, and that it's weird he's not at school right now because he should be, and it's also weird that he's with a weird woman. You know what, waitress and Tommy, you're weird.
Yeah.
Your faces are weird.
Yeah, stop it.
Tommy interrupts Erica and James, and as he's accusing Erica of knowing something about his missing sister Sophie, he tries to manhandle Erica, but, it doesn't go well for him, and then Erica and James leave. Tommy calls the sheriff to report something suspicious.
Erica sends James home because she has to do the next part herself. She also tells him, in between being interrupted by a phone call from an asshole, to just be honest about what happened because no one's gonna believe him anyway. In her room at the motel, whose owner unaccountably has taken a dislike to her, Erica starts talking to someone about the map and the pattern it showed, that kids go missing and are being stashed as food, likely in caves off the lake. She needs more info and asks her octopus stuffy to think about what it could be. It tells her yes.
Meanwhile, the motel owner is telling the sheriff he wants Erica gone because strange noises are coming from her room. The sheriff approaches Erica's room, which has a strange tentacled shadow coming from under the door. Erica opens the door without question, and we see a spirit emanating from her stuffy. It's got tentacles on its lower half, and at its waist is a flower petal type sharp tooth maw. The top half is humanoid, with tentacle arms, pointed ears, red eyes, and no hair. It's not unexpected.
I like it though.
Yeah.
So much.
Do you have one?
A little girl is hiding. She's got blood on her and is whispering, "I don't believe in monsters. I don't believe in monsters. I don't believe in monsters," over and over and over again. A giant insect monster is looking for her, trying to sniff her out. The girl runs past the broken, bloody bodies of her family up the stairs. As she runs, her wrist snaps, the bone sticking out. She begs for help. There is none. Wah, wah.
At Johnny V's bar, a distraught father is talking about the person his missing son was growing up to be. In a booth, Tommy, the waitress, and another person are talking about Erica and James and Erica's big creepy eyes. They know the sheriff has gone to pick Erica up, but they don't really trust the police officers.
Meanwhile, the sheriff is questioning Erica Slaughter, if that's your real name, and is not in the mood for games. Erica's being honest. She answered his questions about where she was on specific dates, and he's going to hear a lot of stories about little towns and missing kids that he'll want to lock her up for. However, the sheriff saw her get off the Greyhound and will only be using her as a scapegoat. Erica turns the tables and starts questioning the sheriff on the missing kids, particularly the first one that went missing.
The sheriff loses it, feeling like he's being messed with, though Erica tells him she's here to solve the problem. Soon, the sheriff is going to get a phone call, and he'll let her go. He's not going to understand what happened, but the kids will stop dying. They're interrupted at this point with news that there are 5 more dead kids. The sheriff's first instinct is to throw Erica into the drunk tank, but he lets her go because she says she can solve the problem, and frankly, he's desperate. As Erica leaves, he tells her who the first victim was and when. Sarah Washington, a month and a half ago. The sheriff assigns one of his deputies to watch Erica as he goes to the crime scene.
Outside, James is sitting on a bench waiting for Erica. As they're walking along, Erica pulls out her possessed octopus to see what kind of monster she's dealing with, because things just aren't consistent. Erica tells James they need to get this over with quickly, but to do that, they need weapons. Time to hit House Depot for a chainsaw. James gleefully puts anything that looks sharp and scary into Erica's cart, and I can see this as a montage.
Oh, completely.
Holding up.
Completely. Yeah. It reminds me of the Staples advert where the guy was dancing along with the trolley singing "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year." Tommy heads to his deadbeat dad's house. He's butt naked and definitely not sober, but thankfully he puts on a pair of skid-marked Tynion once whiteys.
Gross.
Tommy is... yeah, it's horrible. Tommy's not there for a social call. He's picking up a gun. Meanwhile, the sheriff has reached the crime scene. The coroner, the sheriff's older brother, points out that whatever killed these kids ripped into them but left them whole. So it's probably not an animal because, they would be after the meat.
Ugh.
Something scary wanted to just make a mess. They also didn't leave any evidence, but they did leave a big fucking hole in the wall rather than use the door. It's then that the sheriff finally gets the promised phone call.
Erica, her cart of scary weapons, and James are heading to a life and death situation, which gives James carte blanche to ask questions about monsters. Because kids' brains are still developing, they're still open to believing in monsters and seeing them while adults can't. When they reach the part of the woods close to the first disappearance, Erica is fully prepared to leave James while she goes hunting for the monster's den, but James insists he wants to help. If he listens to her and does as she says, Erica will let him come. But, fair warning, it's gonna be horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Understatement.
Yeah.
The deputy is still following Erica. He reports it to the sheriff, grabs his boots from the trunk, and prepares to follow her, James and the arsenal, into the woods. The sheriff, however, tells him not to. Disregarding his orders, the deputy gets out of his car and is pistol whipped by a pissed-off Tommy. Fuck off, Tommy.
In the woods, Erica has found the den. It's bigger than it should be, and it stinks. Erica calls her octopus Stuffy a piece of shit. It knew more than it was telling. Giving James her backpack and coat, Erica orders him to hide as she enters the den with her chainsaw and her black toothy mask covering the lower half of her face. Inside is a pile of body parts. As Erica is examining the carnage, Tommy confronts her for killing the children. He doesn't see the giant monster behind him, but Erica does.
Do you think you can get a giant pile of body parts in IKEA?
Yeah.
So, flat packs.
Yeah, I think you can.
No, it's from
Horror Store, that's right. You got the names of the places mixed up.
Yeah. James is bored and cold. He looks around his hiding spot and sees a dead deer, which reminds him of his dead friend, which freaks him out. The octopus Stuffy then talks to him, calling him weak and scared and accusing him of leading his friends to their deaths. And now he's done the same to Erica. James protests, so the Stuffy tells him to do something. Where there's a pile of weapons just there. He needs to act.
In the monster's den, Tommy thinks Erica is tricking him when she's actually trying to save his dumb ass. He still doesn't see the monster as Erica attacks it with her chainsaw and blood starts flying. Sure, yeah, it's totes a trick. Totally.
Magic.
Yeah, it's magic blood.
Coming to a Las Vegas.
Yes. Ooh, I would perform that.
That would be cool.
I like that. Tommy shoots, screaming at Erica, "You killed my sister!" But he misses, because he's a shitbag. As Erica and Tommy brawl, James tells them he's been shot, which stops them both. That panel is so sad. He's just like his little knees are bent. Okay. Erica.
Go now, we need a plaster.
I know. Excuse me. I don't want to interrupt, but Erica shoulder checks Tommy, knocking him down, and runs to James, asking him to be quiet so she can keep him alive. Erica throws James's jacket at the monster. It's blind, and his jacket helps mask the smell of his blood.
As Tommy keeps whining about not being able to breathe again and, not understanding what's going on because he's a whiny little bitch, a small girl calling herself Bian comes out from further inside the cave. There was no Bian on Erica's list, so she must have been in the cave a long, long time. Erica picks up Bian as Tommy sees his sister's corpse. Time is running out and Erica needs Tommy on the same page as her, so she uses a weed green pen-looking thing on him, stabbing it into his temple.
Erica calls it a one-way door. Hoard gold from the House of Slaughter. Something to help Tommy see. After some pain and some blood, Tommy has a vision of 5 people sitting around a table with stuffies in front of them, each wearing a different colored cloth toothy mask, except the middleman. He looks ancient and wears a gold Oni face mask molded to his mouth. Everyone's eyes are the same startlingly green as Erica's.
Back in the cave, Tommy can see the huge monster looking none too pleased and slightly beaten up from Erica's earlier chainsaw exploits. Chainsaw Exploits is the name of Dripping Viscera's first album.
Yes, definitely.
Erica hands Tommy James and Bian, telling him to get them the hell out of there. She says he can come back for his sister's body, which he really wants to do, if she can kill the monster. Chainsaw in one hand, machete in the other. Erica starts pulling some kick-ass acrobatic bullshit to murder that fucking monster.
Outside, the deputy is coming to from Tommy's attack just as Tommy approaches with James and Bian. They pile into the deputy's car to head to the hospital. Tommy passes out in the back seat as James mutters about telling the octopus he didn't want to die. I'm sure the deputy's like, what?
In the woods, the octopus Stuffy is sitting on Erica's backpack. A bloody hand reaches into the bag and pulls out an all-flip phone. Angrily, Erica tells the person on the other end of the phone that they are fucked up. The monster, wasn't classed correctly. The den wasn't food storage. It was a nest. She's killed the mother, but the babies are out.
No!
Ah! End of volume 1.
It's nice. That's nice. Should we take a moment?
Yes.
Should I get my monster friend and hold him?
Yes, we need our stuffies.
What up, it's Jackson Ford here, author of The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind, hanging out with my Fictional Hangover family. Peace to Amanda, peace to Claire, peace to everyone listening. Greatest podcast out there. I want to tell you about my new book, The Bone Raiders. It is a fantasy novel coming out this year, August 2025. It is about a group of raiders in an alternate universe, Mongolia, who decide to stop riding horses and start riding giant fire-breathing lizards when their way of life is threatened. It's chaotic, it's action-packed, it's funny, it's ridiculous. You are going to absolutely fucking love it. The Bone Raiders, August 2025. Make sure you check that out and make sure you keep listening to Fictional Hangover. Peace.
Anyway, I really appreciate...
In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we are stuffies.
It's not the first time.
It's really not. Anywho, sorry I interrupted you.
It's fine. I really appreciate how we were just like dropped into the middle of things. I'm glad there wasn't really any lead up or anything. It's just like, hey, we're playing Truth or Dare, and there's a monster outside, and I'm telling you about the monster, and you don't believe me, and then you get eaten.
Wah,
Wah,
wah.
wah. It's like the first 3 pages, and everyone's dead.
It is, and they're not even the first ones to be murdered either. Like, we've established by the point that these boys have been murdered that there's 9 bodies in total.
Yeah.
So they've only added another 3 or 4 to the list. How bad are the law enforcement in that in Archer's Peak? They are terrible. Surely at this point as well, they should have gotten federal.
Surely Fox
serial
and
killers.
Mulder should be here by now.
Yeah.
It would be a really good crossover.
Needs to happen.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that? That's amazing.
Or failing Fox and Mulder, Sam and Dean. Or all of them together.
Both, yes. I was going to say both.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Why not both?
I have to say, I was very worried that you were going to hate this. Because, when you love something so much, but you're like, I think they will like it. And I've got a very good grasp of, what we know what each other will like.
Yeah.
And, we've poo-poo people's recommendations, unfortunately, because we know the other person's like, I don't think that's going to gel with them. Because we know, Fictional Hangover brand, and we know what we will appreciate. And on paper, you should love this.
Yes.
But there's always that seed of doubt. So I'm very glad that you did not hate it.
No, yes. I like this very, very much.
Good.
Yeah.
I thought the massive amounts of dead children and viscera flying everywhere and kick-ass female.
Yeah, obviously. Why wouldn't I?
And random possessed stuffies.
Yeah.
Do you want to know about this possessed stuffies?
Sure.
What the lore is behind them?
Yeah, sure.
So, you see that... So, the table that Tommy sees with those figures and that old guy with the Oni mask... They are the leaders of the House of Slaughter. And each of the different masks has a different colour, and that's because they're the heads of a different role. So, the white masks, they work as groups. Black Mask's the main like individual killer. They'll go out and slaughter by themselves. There's like one that's more intelligence based, so each mask notes their job role, and you can flick between a different mask. You can move masks, but each of them have got a stuffy. So everybody in the universe who is one of these monster hunters, and there are several houses, has a stuffy that's possessed, because when they were a child, a kid, they essentially saw their family, friends, whoever they were with, murdered, slaughtered by the monster. And the monster that's inside the stuffy is the monster that did all that slaughter. So the monster that you see in the motel room with its like petal maw and the tentacles, that's the monster that was trying to kill Erica as a child and murdered her entire family inside her childhood stuffy.
That's fantastic.
So you've got to carry your childhood stuffy
that murdered your entire family.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first read the first Something is Killing the Children, the volume 1 was actually gifted to my hubby by our friend Richard. He read it, enjoyed it. I read it, obsessed. And I've read them all. He has not read them all. So it's turned into my series. I've basically pinched them. But after I read the first one, I was like, okay. And then when I found out the lore behind the stuffies, which you do find out in the series, I just kept looking at my childhood teddy bear and going, Callie, you can't be possessed. I was like, don't be possessed. Don't be possessed by my family's annihilator. So yeah. But now I have my octopus. Thank you, Mammy. My Mammy made it. Anywho, back to the summary and stuff.
So there's one thing that I didn't really care for.
Fair.
And I don't know how I feel about the illustrations. They grossed me out, and not in a good way. I didn't gel with the illustrations.
I think that's a fair comment, because so often I think graphic novels are a little bit like audiobooks. If you don't hear the right voice, if it doesn't sound right, you struggle with the book, or you might, yeah. And I think art is the way that it's depicted is the same for graphic novels as the narrator of an audiobook. It might not look or depict how you expect the story to be seen. Yeah. So I think that's a fair comment. There's many graphic novels I love the story of, and I do have, but I do not like the artwork. Yeah. It just doesn't fit my particular aesthetic. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Yeah. I think there's a lot of like individual teeth, which normally everyone would be like, oh, but Amanda, you love teeth. I don't like the way teeth are illustrated often. Like the outlines around each individual tooth are sometimes like too harsh, and it doesn't look right. And I don't.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair comment. I think sometimes as well that it's too dark.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying dark as in like creepy. I'm saying
dark as in too like, dark.
Yeah, there's too much black. Yeah. It's like watching a movie that's too, but it's like turn the brightness up a little bit. Like, I want to see the viscera.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see the scary monster. I want to be able to see it a little bit more brightly. Yeah. I'm not saying put it in full sun and do white backgrounds.
Right.
But I'm just saying turn the volume up a little bit on the brightness. Yeah. And yeah, graphic novels sometimes, and even with this series, as much as I adore it, I can completely understand. I find sometimes the panels a little difficult to follow.
Yeah. That is something else that I thought it was interesting, but it did trip me up quite a bit reading the actual graphic novel, because it's some of the pages you have to go all the way across, and you don't notice it at first because the panels dip into the gutter just a little bit, and you can't really tell. And so then you're reading it, going down, and across like you normally would, and then you go, wait a minute, that doesn't line up, and then you look back up and, oh no, that panel is stretched all the way across both pages, so I'm supposed to read it all the way across, and it wasn't consistent.
Yes.
If it had been consistent, it would have been okay, but it was just like randomly it happened, and that also threw me off quite a bit.
I 1000% agree with that, because even rereading it again for the summary, it still throws me off and does that. I do wonder sometimes, because I've only really read them as the graphic book, not as the individual comics, because with a comic, obviously, you can flatten it out a little bit more, so it might be a little easier to understand the flow of it. But when the flow goes from single page to double spread, it's sometimes not easy to follow. And it may be that, I don't know, sometimes I like it in digital comics where you can just swipe and it takes you to the correct panel and it zooms in on the text or the picture.
Yeah.
And that's really useful to like learn how to read a graphic novel sometimes. But no, I completely get that and 100% agree, because it throws me sometimes. I'm like, hang on, I feel like I've missed a sentence and I have to go back. And then if I read it across, then it makes sense. But also sometimes you'll have like a block of panels and it's like a square, and it's like, I need to read half of the one big panel, go to the smaller one, go back to the big panel, and then go to the smaller one, and that's confusing as well. So no, I get that, but it's just one of these things with comics. It's just the nature of the way that they are, unfortunately.
You know, I got used to it after the first couple of double spreads. I started paying more attention to it, and then, you know, because that's how you're supposed to read a graphic novel. You know, you're supposed to read the image and you're supposed to read the panels, and then you're supposed to read it all together. So like just backing up and looking at the entire page as one, I would, okay, now I'm supposed to read it all the way across on this page and this one.
Yeah.
And it's just something that your brain picks up on, but you don't.
It is, but
like,
it's sometimes it's a bit frustrating, you know. You just it is a frustration. I find the same when I read manga as well. I understand the flow's supposed to be different, it's in reverse, but I still have to check myself going through.
Yeah.
It's just...
I just started reading a manga, and I will be mentioning it in If You Liked This, Try This, and it threw me a couple of times. I've only, like, it's a collection of short stories, and I've only read the first story so far, but I started out and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to read it. Nope, it's manga, Amanda. Go backwards. Go backwards in everything. Not just the pages. The panels go backwards too. So, yeah.
I do like the fact that manga has that. Actually, most of them have a page. What is technically the last page.
And
to
it's
say,
like, no,
don't start here. Go
you're
back,
wrong.
and this is how you read it. And it shows you, and I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Sorry, we're dumb.
It's just one of these things. It's a different medium, and I think it's good to stretch yourself and do it and have. I love comics.
Yeah.
I love them because I think getting that idea of the image, associating the image to the word is really, really useful. I was talking to somebody earlier in the week about they're trying to learn a different language, and we'll think she's struggling for the conversational. It's to go meet her partner's family who are Spanish speaking, so she's learning Spanish, and she's struggling a little bit. So we were talking about like how could you learn a language and how we did it when we were at school, so we were talking about like how that happens. My child, when he was younger, had the TV up with subtitles on, and we think associating the word with the image really, really helped. Yeah. So it's the same with comics. Associating the words with the images that are on the page, it really helps you understand the context and the brutality as well of what's happening. And this is a very brutal graphic novel.
It is.
It's full of blood.
Yes.
It's full of monsters, obviously.
Yes.
It's full of violence.
Yes.
But it's also full of dumb shit.
Yes.
Like, Tommy, oh my god. How freaking frustrating.
I hate him so much. We normally ask, who's your favorite character? obviously Erica. But in this one with my notes, it's just I fucking hate Tommy. I hate him. I hope he gets better now that he's been stabbed with a highlighter, but I hate him. I hate him.
I get the fact that he's upset because his sister's gone missing and is likely dead, and we find the corpse, so he knows she's dead. But he just literally accuses the first stranger to walk into the restaurant he's a manager of.
Yeah.
Like, she hadn't done anything apart from, I want this booth every day. Do you mind?
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't get it. Well, it's because of
you're a murderer.
It's because of the stupid waitress being shitty about James.
Yeah, he's a kid.
He's a kid.
And granted,
he's a kid, and all of his friends just died. Back the fuck up.
And I will say, kids can murder.
Sure.
But also, like, he's a weed. And I think you need a bit of strength for what, happened.
Yeah.
And he's traumatised.
Yeah.
There's just no compassion.
No.
Absolutely no compassion. And the sheriff, I was like, dude, just let her go. There's absolutely no reason for you to hold her. You literally saw her get off the bus.
Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah. There's part of me that wants to, like, go down the analytic route of, well, this just talks about people not liking strangers and the reasons why that. I'm like, no, you know what? Some people are just dumb.
Some people are just
dumb.
dumb.
And they'll accuse any person they can of being the culprit.
Well, because they don't,
without any evidence.
Because they don't like strangers. They don't like people who are different.
So fucking
yeah.
I did like the fact that the coroner was such a stereotype.
Yes.
I mean, he was in, like, for 4 panels or something, but there's got to be some rule somewhere that if you were a coroner, you are either goth or you have a weird sense of humour, or both.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
Which I like, so, no, that's cool.
And he's the sheriff's older brother.
I mean, it's a small town and probably all
right? Like, I need somebody to be the coroner. I'm the sheriff. I found this star, so I put it on. So I'm the sheriff. But I need somebody to be the coroner.
He probably pulled it from a Christmas cracker or something, like, or, went to a kid's party with a piñata and it fell out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, it's a party favour, not an actual badge of office.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the scene inside House Depot.
I love House. I love House Depot. Those names.
Let's go get some scary
Those
stuff.
restaurant names, or the business names that are very, very obviously something else. Like Applebee's, but I'm pretty sure that all the Applebee's are closed now. And it's Home Depot. But no, it's House. It's House Depot. I just love it. I love it so much. It's like
legally distinct.
Legally distinct place names are fantastic. Yes. I love it. Like, they even look exactly the same. Every single thing is exact except for those legally distinct names. Yes.
The royalty required schemes are very different, though.
Yes. I did really love that.
Yeah. Cool.
Like, I snorted at House Depot when I turned the page and saw that.
I really liked James in that he's like, look, this is big and scary, and she's like, yeah, just sort it.
Yeah, it's fine. Just holding up random sharp things in the background. Great. I love it.
Delightful.
I like the that you see Erica and she's described as having, weird fucking eyes. And then you see at the end why she has weird fucking eyes. Because she's been stabbed in the face with a highlighter, which is what I am going to continue to say, since I don't know actually all of the details, except for that it's a treasure from the House of Slaughter.
I don't actually think it's specifically given a name.
But I appreciate it because, yeah, her eyes are fucking weird, and now Tommy is the same.
Wow.
Tommy has the highlighter stab. So he'll be able to see them too, yes?
Yes.
But I also just want him to get stabbed or eaten or die or something, because he's horrible and I hate him. Please don't tell me that he's going to show up later and that he's going to be my favorite character, because right now, nah.
No. No. I can only consistently think of 3 characters that are still alive.
Okay.
In Volume 8.
Okay, that's fine.
Just everybody gets murdered.
Yeah, it's fine. I like it.
Including the person she's talking to on the phone.
Great.
That was vicious. It does a flashback episode, like series later on, like a few later on, and you meet other characters and you're like, oh, I like these characters are so cool. They die. Horrible. Nobody is survives.
Nobody's safe.
The spin-off, the House of Slaughter spin-off. They go down to New Orleans and you meet a new house. The Butchers.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's very good.
That's fun.
It's very good. It's very good. I love it so much. So, yeah. But I think ultimately, don't trust your stuffy. Don't trust your childhood stuffy is one of the lessons you can learn from this. There are monsters in the woods. Don't go near them.
Yeah.
And if there's a weird person coming claiming that she's going to kill the monsters,
Let her.
Believe her.
Yeah.
I love Erica Slaughter. Love her.
I'm glad we finally covered this one.
Yes. Yes.
It's only been... I don't remember the date of the first time you suggested it, but I'm pretty sure Jackson Robb was involved. So it could have been 5 years ago.
Wow. I mean, how often are graphic novels released? So, yeah. Yeah, well, it's been around since at least 2020 because it won the Eisner Award. No, it was a nominee for Eisner Award in 2020.
Yeah.
And the Harvey Award and the Ringo Award. I'm sure it's won awards. It's also apparently being picked up by Netflix.
That I would like to see. For sure.
I hope it will be as violent though as it actually is. But then I'm also thinking, would it be an animation rather than in a live action?
I don't know. A shitload of crazy powers, by the way, in 2022 is your first mention. Episode 195, everyone.
Whoa.
And we're on 353. So that tells you how long ago it was.
And I'll still reckon.
Well, the last time that you recommended it was only 100 episodes ago. When we did October Faction.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very restrained of me.
Yeah. Well, there are some times where I'll go, Claire, you just recommended that one. And then you go, oh yeah. And then you'll change it to something else. So I'm sure that's happened at least once with this one.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt. Anywho. So, okay. I thought your favourite character would be this guy, would be Octo the Octopus.
Well,
Because
but I'm
you
not
like the
supposed to
idea of
ask
it being
about
possessed
him.
by an evil spirit.
Yeah, of course. But I'm not allowed to ask about him.
That's true.
Literally in the text, it said you're not allowed to ask. But I love him, especially on the panels where you can see what he actually looks like. I love him.
Absolute dick, though.
Yeah, of course. Duh.
See, one of the reasons why I liked it was because it's a possessed octopus, but also it's a possessed octopus trying to lead people astray to go and get murdered.
Yes.
I'm like, you would do that. You would possess a stuffy and then leave them astray to go and get murdered.
Of course I would. Like, hey, I know she told you to sit there quietly, but there's a whole pile of weapons right there, so maybe you should go and maybe you should go and help. And he's like, yeah, okay. Gunshot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And then I'm sitting on the floor going,
that was too easy.
Stupid kid. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Should that have just been me then? Should I get my own little stuffy back here?
I mean, that's a pretty literal.
It is.
And I like it.
Yeah. It's very obvious.
It is.
Should we move on? I keep looking at my pile of stuffies that I have over here that you can't see. Like, which one?
Well, I'm convinced that my PG Tips chimp is also possessed.
Yeah, probably.
But possessed by an excessively British person who just wants to drink tea and have jammy toast.
I know one that is definitely possessed. And it's one that I made myself.
Oh, 100% possessed then.
His name is Duke Fudrums. And he's a knockoff cereal mascot. Look at his hair, it's falling off. And he's all dirty and stuff.
Definitely possessed.
He has a theme song.
Of course he does.
Oh, part of his mustache fell off too. Oh, bless him. Poor Duke.
I like the fact he's got one big eye, and on the opposite side of his face he's got half a moustache.
Yeah, he's seen some shit in his life.
Oh, the twinsies with the eyes.
Oh, yay. Duke Fudgums, it is so good. That's his cereal song. And I sing it a lot around the house. Oh, also he has individual teeth too. Me complaining about individual teeth.
Oh, well, honestly, complaints are falling on deaf ears now.
Anyway, Duke Fudgums, you can just chill over there. I think he had shoes at one point too. Anyway, should we move on to other things?
Yes, that's your favourite Final Four quote. Okay, well, for me, the whole book,
obviously.
But if I've got to pick some, I'll give you 3. Okay. Right, this one, I've had a very stressful week. And this one I've literally said about 16 million times this week. I'm chill! Totally fucking chill! Not. Totally fucking not. Oh, and this one as well. Book or real life? Is it actually a problem or just a fake problem you can ignore?
I like that one.
What did I say about questions? That they are smart to ask when you're about to enter a life or death scenario? Okay, shoot.
Very good.
What have you got?
I really appreciated believing is a different thing than knowing. I really liked that. Also, I'm not in the mood to be fucked with right now, which is probably something that I have said in real life.
Yeah.
And I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't say, what's the most scared you've ever been? Because that just seems on brand.
Have you got an answer for that yet or not? I feel like...
There is one time that I can think of where I was legitimately terrified. And it was so long ago. And Jacob was working nights or like a second shift sort of thing. So he would come home at a very weird time. Thanks, hospital work. So I was asleep, but I was only lightly asleep. And he came home from work and like a very nice, sweet husband like gave me a kiss on my forehead. freaked the shit out. Like, woke up screaming. And I think that's probably the first time I've ever done that. And the last time I've ever done that, actually. So that's probably the most scared I've ever been. And it was nothing.
Yeah.
It was just Jacob. But, like...
Husbands have a way of doing
Well, we
that.
had, like, hard floors in in the apartment that we were living in. And, like, he was dressed nice, like, wearing nice shoes. And they had, like, a clip-clop sound. And just all of the things combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've had a few. Like that kind of absolute petrified, screaming, blood-curdling. The biggest time I can think of. So, you know when my leg cramp and I pass out, I get these horrible hallucination images. And they are terrifying and shit scary. So when I finally come to, I am literally screaming till I'm hoarse. Legitimately terrified. But the hallucinations. I know the hallucinations. I know, because it's the same as having quite lucid dreams, which I do have. I know, even when I'm passed out and seeing these grotesque images, it's not real. And in my head is screaming, you've literally just fainted. You are unconscious. These are not real. But it feels real because of the blood and the hot and the heat and everything. And it sounds real because, again, I can hear the blood rushing. And it looks real because of the hallucinations. So I'm literally screaming my lungs off. And my throat's sore. And that's probably
I don't
most
like that.
scared. Like, I have that actual physical reaction of being scared. Of being scared. But that's the only time I can think of being that relatably scared to something that's, you know, contextually the same as something as killing the children. Colin jumps out at me all the time. He can sneak up on me because he's got freaking ninja skills, and I jump and scream all the time because I just don't hear him come.
Yeah.
But that's not the same kind of...
No.
Yeah.
I call that... I say that my tail is puffed like a cat who gets startled by stupid things.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
But that's not real. That's silly.
No.
Yeah.
I can't think of any, like, life or death scenario where there's been actual fear. Or it's been there, but because it's so traumatic, I've just forgotten it.
Maybe that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Should we play Would You Rather?
We asked on social media. There is a monster in the woods! Oh no! Would you rather see the monster or the monster be invisible? And on Facebook, 94% want to see that bad boy. And on Instagram, 60% want to see. Ooh. We got quite a few comments. Emily on Facebook said, I gotta see the monster in order to slay it.
Fantastic. Excellent choice of words, too, by the way. Claire on Facebook says, oh, much better to see it. If I know about it, that way I can hide from it. I'm not a monster slayer. I'm the one in the horror film that screams and runs and gets killed quickly. Poor Claire. Sorry, Claire.
I just like the self-awareness. Katrina on Facebook said, I have to see
sure.
it. I doubt I'd fight it. I will probably run, but I need to know where I'm running to.
Coral on Facebook said, it's better to see what you must kill, or it just might kill you.
And Annie on Facebook said, I want to see it, or it may be terrible, but unseen I will imagine even worse. I don't know, based on some of the monsters in this book.
Fiona on Facebook says, ignorance is bliss.
Headzilla on Thread said, probably see it, to be honest. If it's something is killing the children type monster, I'm screwed either way. So I might as well look at the big old toothy beastie in the eyes and challenge it to get me. If it was invisible, it might be kinder though, especially if the death bringing is mercifully swift. Kinda, what's that noise? No bowel loosening terror, just a sudden thought of, oh fuck, my head's coming off, and done. I think I've changed my mind. Yeah, I don't want to see that bad lad. Visible monster for the win.
I'm sorry, Headzilla. You're probably still shitting your pants.
Well, if there's poop in there, when you die, you're going to defecate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've shit your pants either way.
Yeah. But I suppose there's a difference between seeing it and shitting your pants and then dying, to not seeing it dying, then shitting your pants. You're unaware that you've shit your pants.
Yeah, okay. Finally, Brie Tart on Instagram says, see, the monster invisible thing is no bueno.
Are you seeing it or not seeing it?
I'm obviously seeing it. I'm obviously seeing it so I can map it to cosplay it.
Well, I'm going to see it because I figure the monster's you.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, Amanda, stop it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's fine.
Because remember, Lords and Masters, we know what to do. We know how to play this game.
Of course we do. Of course we do. This is definitely not the first time we have played this game. Okay, next question. You're being weird.
Oh, sorry.
Too weird.
Oh.
Would you rather be kicked out of a restaurant or a motel?
Restaurant.
Same. I feel like I could make a scene in a restaurant more than I could make a scene in a motel because, like, nobody's going to see me making a scene in the motel, especially if it's in the middle of the night and you're being asked to leave. And also, then you'd have to find somewhere else to sleep and, like, go and pay and do all that stuff over again. I'd rather flip a table and leave a restaurant.
Yeah, it's 100% the effort. Like, at least in a restaurant, you can do the whole grab your stuff, stuff it in a bag quickly.
Yeah.
And you're out of there. Table flipping.
Yeah.
Steal the salt shakers.
Yes. I was going to say, you have to steal something. Put a fork in your bag.
But in a motel, there's a really good chance you've got stuff around.
Yeah.
You know, on the table, on the bed, and the wardrobe and stuff. So, like, it takes, you can't just leave it.
No, you've got to go and pack your bag up. And if you're one of those people who unpacks their bags when they're staying somewhere, which I can't get with that, but...
It depends how long I'm staying someplace.
Yeah. If it's an extended stay, I'm going to hang up my stuff.
If it's more than 5 days, generally everything gets unpacked. Yeah. If it's less than, it's just the stuff that will crinkle.
Yeah.
Because you never get enough hangers anyways in the hotel.
No, you
wardrobes.
Don't. No.
So, yeah.
And you can never trust the iron. The iron is always shit.
No. Never trust the iron. No. And my underwear will always stay in the suitcase, regardless of length of stay.
Yeah. I don't want my underwear in a strange place.
No. I can put jeans, I can put t-shirts in drawers and hang those up. But if it's close contact and vegetables, stay in drawers. It's in my... Yeah. I even put my wash bag because I'm just paranoid. Stays on my luggage. I don't like leaving the toothbrush out.
I'm fine with that. I will unpack those things.
I actually have a toothbrush like head cover thing because the idea of anything get on that toothbrush apart from like toothpaste to wash my teeth makes me want to be sick.
Yeah, it will stay in its case. Yeah. When I take it out at a hotel.
Yeah.
Definitely. Or if it's not inside the case, like I have the ones that's just the head cover, but then I also have the whole like sleeve that you put your toothbrush in.
Same.
I will leave the case out and then prop the toothbrush on it. But I don't want my toothbrush touching like a countertop or anything anywhere else. That's weird.
No, I make commandeer glass.
I've done that.
Usually you
I've
have
done that. Mm-hmm.
And to put it in the toothbrush holder. Yeah. I'll generally commandeer a cup.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, this is no disrespect to hotels and stuff, because the cleaners will be doing the best job that they possibly can.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's just your own paranoia.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I love the fact that we have, like, toothbrush etiquette.
Yes.
For hotels.
Me too. It's insane, and I appreciate that it's exactly the same.
This is a short one, so are we only doing 3?
Well, we have 5, so we can.
Okay.
But spoiler alert for some upcoming episodes, we might have to knock out some of the Would You Rathers because the things that we're sharing are just way too short to come up with 5 questions for. Yes. Think of it like a new and indie spotlight. We only ask 1 in those.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. Okay, would you rather fight a monster with a chainsaw or a pair of machetes? Either way, it's going to look cool.
It is going to
And you live. I decree that you live.
Yeah, obviously. This is a very good question. I feel like just because of the sound, I'd probably want to go with a pair of machetes unless I have something to block the chainsaw sound. Like if I'm wearing a pair of headphones, if I'm wearing like a nice pair of headphones and I've got a really cool like soundtrack playing that when you're...
The cordless as well.
Right. And when you're watching it later, you can hear what I'm listening to, then I'll use the chainsaw. But if not, I think I'll use the pair of machetes.
Don't stop me now, gonna have a good time, having a ball, don't stop me now.
Who put that on? It's on random. Kill the queen. What?
I'm going to go with a pair of machetes though, because the chainsaw, I'm more likely to lop my own arm off than I'm likely to lop the arm of the beastie off.
But you would probably... Well, no, I don't know. Erica didn't. I was going to say you would probably be using 2 hands with the chainsaw, but she didn't. She chainsawed and macheted.
Okay. If I've got Erica's level of A, strength, B, skill, and C, kick-assery...
Definitely kick-assery.
Then it's a machete and a chainsaw. Yeah. But if it's me, it's a pair of machetes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I am neither competent nor acrobatic.
I feel like you could be sneakier with a pair of machetes, too.
Oh, it's definitely... Well, you've got to be silent, silent but deadly.
Yeah. But you're still wearing the headphones with the soundtrack playing.
I'm still wearing the headphones with Don't Stop Me.
Yeah. Yeah. But in my case, it would be an audiobook. And it would be just something completely off the wall.
I've started to listen to this podcast that... it looks at shit things that are happening and then tries to turn it on its head to be like the brighter side of life. And I've just got this image of like listening to that and go, well, I'm covered in viscera, but the monster's not going to be eating the kids.
Yay!
Yay!
It's fun.
I'm trying to add some positivity to my life because these are dark times.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Would you rather find your parental figure naked or in a dirty, disgusting, gross pair of underwear?
Oh, they're not tighty whities.
They're not white for sure. I feel like naked is less sad than dirty underwear. Dirty underwear just seems like sad and pathetic.
Yeah, at least if they're butt naked, you can pretend that they're just lying there on the bed because it's so freaking hot and they didn't want anything touching the skin. If it's dirty, manky, disgusting, gross underwear...
It's sad.
It's sad.
It's a sad story. Naked is a funny story. Dirty underwear is a sad story.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's like, if it's if it's a living parental figure, it's my mum. She's got all the bits that I've got, so whatever.
I like that you clarified. Are you just gonna walk in like on a corpse? on a corpse in dirty underwear. Saddest story of them all.
Yes. But if they're a corpse and dirty underwear, as we've already established, you're shitting your pants after you're dead, regardless. Yeah. Or if it's, beforehand because you've seen the monster. Right. That's just a callback to the previous conversation. Yes,
definitely. I'm still going to go naked.
Yeah, I mean, it's naked regardless.
Yeah.
But also, I'll be like, knocking on the door. I'll be like, coming in.
Yeah, hi, are you in there? I'm not just going to burst in.
No.
I will have called beforehand. It's only polite.
Yes. Well, I usually call, say, Ma'am, are you in the house? Yes. Right, get the kettle on. I'm coming.
Yeah. Okay, are you home? I'm going to be there in a few minutes.
But also, I would like to argue, I'm not going to my mum's house for a gun.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to my mum's house to steal her fruit.
Mm.
Because she always has a well-stocked fruit bowl or two.
That's nice. That's nice.
Or scones. She's made me scones.
Mm. Yeah.
Nice cheese scones.
Nice.
I'm hungry, sorry.
Same.
Last, would you rather get your monster intel from a possessed octopus stuffy or from the House of Slaughter, aka the phone call from St. George's?
Well, especially since you've explained it to me, like, I just want to be best friends with a monster. So I'm choosing the octopus stuffy. Or Duke Fudgems.
Yes. So your monster from... Well, we'll change it to slightly your monster intel from a possessed stuffy, not just an octopus.
Yeah.
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 Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, and they're magical, too. So they probably know more than humans.
I mean, they are going to try and kill you constantly and consistently, but at least they're constant and consistent with that.
It's fine. Look on the bright side.
On the bright side, it's consistent attempts and murder.
Yeah. You know what to expect.
Yes.
Okay, if you liked this, try this. Now what are you going to suggest? What's going to be your thing that you constantly suggest now that we've finally covered this one?
This one is going to be... I've got it as well.
I would like to say that I'm pretty sure we've both suggested this one on multiple occasions, and now I will research that while you are sharing.
Wind, Book 1, The Flight of the Prince by James Tynion IV and Michael Dalnas and Aditya Bidikar. And it is in my bedroom.
Oh no, maybe we've only done it once.
Oh, it's very good. It's Wind, W-Y-N-D. It is another graphic novel. And it's very, very good. So it looks cute on the outside. I say, oh, look, magical creatures. Oh, James Tynion IV is not afraid to fuck things up and murder things. So yeah, that's going to give you a flavour. So the summary from Goodreads. To find your home, first you have to find yourself. In a world where magical heritage is punishable by death, a young boy named Wind must hide his true identity and pointy ears from everyone in Pipe Town, even if it means he'll never have the normal life he wants. But when his secret is threatened, Wind is forced to leave his home behind to embark on a dangerous quest that will put him at the heart of a royal conspiracy beyond imagination. Now on the run with the boy of his dreams, his best friend Oakley, and a literal prince, Wind will have to embrace the magic within himself if he wants to save them from the shocking dangers that await. So yeah, it's not bright sunshine and fairies and dragons. It's murder and flailing, and
we like these
there's
things.
Vampires in it, and they're dickheads.
We like these things. We like all of these things.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
There's only 3 collected series, like books out. it's supposed to be an ongoing series, but I think James Tynion's doing a lot of stuff at the moment.
probably.
So, yeah. What have you got?
I am going to suggest Ally by Junji Ito. And this is the one that I started reading. And I've only read the title story, Ally, so far. And it was... good stuff. Good stuff. What secrets lie within the stains on the alley's walls? Every night, a young man hears children playing outside his boarding house, but the alley below his window is fenced off from the world. Then, when a young woman's family starts acting strangely at the same time, she begins having bizarre dreams. She decides to stay with her aunt, but the town she heads for has neither addresses nor roads. Also, an all-you-can-eat ice cream bus that's more sinister than sweet. So, I've only read Ally so far, and Ally was so good. So, I'm excited to see about the all-you-can-eat ice cream bus.
I could go for some ice cream.
Yeah, yeah.
But not from an all-you-can-eat ice cream bus. Oh, man, do you like an ice cream van whippy? Yeah, it sounds like I'm going to die if I go near this
Probably.
one. Oh.
Probably.
I'm checking to see if it's on the library now. Do we have a new indie spotlight?
We do. We actually just got this one a few days ago, and I'm very sad. Claire, can I be honest with you about something real quick?
I mean, if you must.
I don't like summertime.
Same. Summer sucks, man. I'm an autumn girl.
Summer sucks. I am
It's too hot.
I'm so busy at work, and there's just a lot of stuff going on, and it's really hard to schedule interviews with authors when I am just so fucking exhausted from the week.
Yes.
So this book is called Thrash Force, and it's coming out July 15th. And also, like, we need more time to plan our new and indie spotlight episodes. But this one, I would really like to circle back and cover this one after it comes out, because it looks really cute. It's called Thrash Force. It's by Raj Sidhu, and it comes out July 15th. And I've already asked, and I've already said, I'm so sorry, but we are very, very busy right now. But thank you, oh my God, for suggesting this, and please, let's come back to it. 12-year-old Riley Singh is in deep trouble. And that's not even considering the interdimensional sorcerer out for his blood. Instead of wasting his time studying, Riley and his friends spend their afternoons playing a game where they can go on adventures as imaginary heroes. Unfortunately for them, the villain of their newest adventure turns out to be anything but imaginary. And it looks so cute. The illustrations look amazing. I'm excited for this book. Coming July 15th.
I've put it on our 2026 schedule to say, if not covered by 2026.
Please. Yes. So, that's it for this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss my If You Liked This, Try This. Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. Look out for our Would You Rather polls and monthly challenges on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until the next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
you can find us at fictionalhangover.com and follow us on all social media at Fictional Hangover. If you like this episode, check out our others and be sure to rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for listening.